On today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Hot Toys The Avengers Age of Ultron Cosbaby Collectible Set Series 1. A very cute and awesome collection of Cosbabies from the folks over at Hot Toys. You get yourself a couple of variations of Ultron. You get, of course, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. When we flip around to the side of the package, this is set COSB for Cosbaby, 171-175 Series 1. And then we spin around the back of the packaging. The characters in this set are Thor, Captain America, Iron Man Mark 43, the Iron Legion 1, Ultron Sentry, and then Ultron Sentry Prime. It is to note, though, that the Ultron Sentry Prime is only available in this collectible set. You can't actually pick him up on his own. And then we have some artwork on the top there. I love the artwork in the back, too. That's great. I would love to have this on like a sheet set or even like pajama bottoms. Guess Spot wears pajama bottoms. And then on the bottom section there, you can go to www.hottoys.com.hk, facebook.com/hottoys, info@hottoys.com as well. Spot's going to take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Hot Toys Cosbaby Avengers Age of Ultron Collectible Set Series 1. Here's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So, having a look at the Cosbabies out of packaging, sadly, two of them, I can't get them to stand properly, and it's something I'll talk about in a second. Poor Iron Man and poor Iron Legion, I just can't get them to properly stand. Now granted, this is a fabric surface. They would stand a little bit better on a flat surface like a shelf or whatnot. But why don't we start the review first with Captain America. Captain America does have a removable shield, which is a really nice touch. I also do like the fact that as opposed to it being a painted surface, they've sculpted in not only the rings, but also the star. It gives it that nice textured look. Now, the thing with the Cosbabies, too, is they're super stylized, as you can see, versions of characters, such in this case as the Avengers. They are limited in posability. In fact, posability, and you gotta be very careful as quickly as I say that, you could technically move the arms. The arms are on pegs, but you do have to be very, very careful. In fact, I struggled with a lot of these to get the arms to move at all. And that's the kind of resistance that I'm willing to say, you know what, just leave it be. Just let them stand as they are. They are on par with a vinyl collectible figure. But really where they excel is the paint. The paint is immaculate, especially when we start looking at the Ultron pieces, as well as the Iron Man. It's really when you're going to appreciate the level of paint and detail that they put into the pieces. Areas on his helmet are all raised as well. He's got the big raised A on his helmet also. But they are a cute, simplified version of the characters. There is definitely no denying the fact that the level of detail on the pieces is quite impressive. So there you have Captain America. I would have loved if they actually would have come with display stands as well. Something that you could have actually put them on the stand. Nothing big, maybe about that big. A little black stand. They could have had their names. They could have also just been black stands and just had them displayed that way. There you have Captain America. Moving along to Thor. Thor does have a removable Mjolnir hammer. Paint is quite nice on it. It's more of a darker gray than a lighter gray that we've seen with some other versions of Mjolnir. You can put it in his hand, but you got to be. It's finicky because you got to have to try to get it around his cape. But you can get it to hold. You can get him to hold the hammer pretty easy. You will also too notice. You may or may not have noticed with the Captain America that with all the Cosbabies too, they have spring heads. They're all bobblehead style characters. With Thor, you really can't move him all that much because his hair really obstructs a lot of the movement. But again, no denying the level of paint that they put in the piece. His cape isn't also removable. It's just affixed to his shoulders. It's attached there, so I wouldn't try to remove the cape. But very, very cool little vinyl version of Thor. Put him down there. And then we get to, sadly, the ones that don't stand very well. And I wonder if the culprit is because, see the way that their feet are positioned? Their feet are almost positioned like they're almost arched this way, if it makes any sense. You see how they're flat, but the bodies are kind of tilted this way? Something just particularly about Iron Man here. He doesn't want to stand very well. And the same thing as well for Iron Legion. Because they are essentially really the same body. They just retooled the back a little bit different, but the faces are roughly about the same. Of course, the bodies are the same as well, but they just don't stand very well. That's the only downside. As you can see, if I'm very careful, you can move his arms, but really a lot of resistance. I'm going to be honest, a lot of resistance moving the arms, so I'm willing just to leave it be. He does have an arc reactor as well that's raised. That's a nice touch. The metallic, I was going to say mechanic, but the metallic paint is superior on Iron Man here. Cranberry red, he's got that gold going on there as well, and a lot of panel lining, which I didn't actually mention for Captain America, nor did I mention with Thor. The panel lining on here is excellent. So probably one of my favorites is Iron Man here. When we have a look though at Ultron, Ultron's my favorite, but I could really see myself, being happy to have Iron Man in the collection and really admire that one because really like the coloring on him. Iron Patriot we've kind of already touched base on. Or Iron Legion, sorry, Iron Legion. He has this big opening in the back here, which the Mark 43 didn't have. Avengers on the side. Again, you can move his arms, but don't fight it. I mean, pretty much how you have them displayed now is the way I would keep them. Don't struggle trying to move arms on them. Metallic gold is very nice touch. I like the whites going on there. But I mean, like, you can see the differences between the Iron Legion, the Mark 43, and then the other Avengers. Before we even get to the Ultrons, like, they're all separate, very distinct from one another. The coloring is very vibrant on all four pieces, and that panel lining is just fantastic. So put the Mark 43 down. Again, as you can see, he doesn't really stand, and the same thing can be said for Iron Legion. And now let's have a look at the... Oh, I love these pieces. Let's have a look at the Ultron Sentry, which really is about the same idea as the Ultron Prime that we're going to look at. It's these sections right here you have to be very careful of. They do feel like very fine, brittle plastic. Can you even hear that as I do this? Be careful with these sections right here. But the bobbleheads are a little more prevalent on the Ultrons versus the rest of the Avengers here. Again, you could kind of move their arm. See, I moved his arm a little bit easier. I really struggled with it, and one time the arm popped off, but it's just pegged in there, but do be very careful. The blue really makes, both the blue and then the red we'll be looking at soon, really makes the piece stand out. And actually, you know what? Considering they're really the same piece, just colored differently, might as well be looking at them at the same time. Details on the torsos are a nice touch. That panel lining really shows all the pieces extremely well. But really, body-wise, there's not a lot different between the two bodies. It's really when you start looking at the heads that the heads are the big deciding factor. I love the blue, but really, as a purist, got to go with the red. Now, as we had a look at the original packaging, the Ultron Sentry Prime is only the exclusive to the set. You can't get the Ultron on its own. The Ultron Sentry, the regular Sentry, I think you can actually get still on their own. But if you really want this piece, if you ask me, this is the piece to go with. I would say get this set. Really love all of them. I mean, I'm also a big fan of vinyl figures. Like, as you know, watching these videos, Spot's always been a big fan of vinyl pieces. So to get vinyl figures in that simplistic kind of almost stylistic design of the Cosbabies here, I really like them. My favorite probably will be the Mark 43 Iron Man and the Ultron Sentry Prime. Those two are probably going to be my favorites. These are currently available on Sideshow Collectibles website. If you guys definitely want to add these to collection, click the link down below. Not maybe everyone's cup of tea, but I mean, for vinyl collectors, the ones that collect like the Kid Robot pieces and pieces such as that, these kind of pieces are definitely going to be standing out on my collection shelf. Today's collectible spot, we're looking at something a little bit different, but really, really cool pieces. We're having a look today at the Hot Toys Cosbaby, the Avengers Age of Ultron set, which again also only has the Ultron Century Prime as part of this set. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do. I'll see you next time.